Are you able to see the slides? Hello, are you able to see my presentation?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay. So last class we start discuss about AC and DC drives, and then we enter into the converters. So as far as the DC supply, suppose if I want to get energy from battery to a DC motor, I need either converter or chopper. So that means rectifier or chopper. Suppose if I want energy from battery for a AC motor means there is a need of a power modulator which need inverter operation. So inverter operation, that is we call it as a inverter circuit. Suppose if I want battery energy sources from battery, that to supply for a DC motor which demands there is a change in the DC supply means fixed DC to variable DC concept. So for that I need a chopper. So we have seen broadly as far as electrical vehicle is concerned, there is a three different power modulators are available. Three different power modulators are need. One is from DC to AC straight away. So suppose if I'm using AC motor inverters. One is DC to DC. Okay, so in that case, I need choppers. Suppose in case of battery, I need to charge. So whenever it is an ideal, say especially now a present configuration, very dominant configuration in the electrical vehicle is plug-in hybrid electrical vehicle. That is PHEV, plug-in hybrid electrical vehicle. So there is a need of external arrangement by which we can able to charge the battery. So as far as the hybrid electrical vehicle arrangement, there is no any external thing. Okay, because whenever the vehicle IC internal combustion engine is running, so along the particular shaft, we will connect a small generator that itself charging the battery. So there is no any provision available for the external charging in case of a pure hybrid electrical vehicle. That is hybrid electrical vehicle configuration. There is another one that is only now very popular. That is plug-in hybrid electrical. What are all now we are seeing, or we are commonly talking about the issues and other things is about the charging of battery. So that configuration is called plug-in hybrid electrical vehicle. In that plug-in hybrid electrical vehicle, only we need a chargers. So chargers means automatically all the places we are producing or we are generating the power as an alternating alternating current only. So when we are having alternating current and we need to charge a battery, definitely there is a power modulator, power converter is needed. That is called converter. So as far as the application, when we are utilizing the energy from the battery to the motor means there is a two different only. One is chopper as well as inverter. But when we have to charge the battery, so what is our ESS energy storage system is mainly battery pack. That battery pack receives powers only from the AC sources. So AC and I have to charge the DC. So there is a need of converter. So three different configurations are there. So then we have explained about this is electric drive. Electric drive is a multidisciplinary one. So we are not only knowing the machine theory, we have to know about something about power electronics. That's what we are going to do. Utility integration mitigation. So this is about power quality. So previously shown, last week shown inverter circuit, you may able to understand how fast a switch is acting. So especially even in the pulse width modulation technique, the switches has to be just like vibration. Okay, it is not going to be on for some time. Okay, for the positive half cycle and off for the negative half cycle. Even during the conduction period, even in the positive half cycle of the particular one, it is simply like a vibrating pulses. Okay, so whatever the pulses applied during that pulses, it will be conducting. During the off of the pulses, it will be not conducting. So even during the positive half cycle, the particular combination of the circuit or particular combination of the switches has to be in on condition for several times and off condition for several times. So it is simply like a vibration. So automatically this leads to a very important power quality issues that is called harmonics. Suppose if I want to have a AC output, okay, so AC output is there. I am converting from battery. So battery is there. From the battery, I am connecting on inverter. Through the inverter only, I am supplying a induction motor. So in that case, if I am implementing any pulse width modulation technique for the inversion operation, that automatically lead to a very high power quality issue. So that is what here I wish to show. Okay, so that is related to this one. Okay, utility integration mitigation. Okay, so the mainly that issue is called PQ issue. PQ issue, that is nothing but power quality issue. So automatically what will happen is as you know that I want to have a inverted output, that is DC output. Okay, so from the inverter output. So if I am employing the concept of pulse width modulation, automatically I will have I may have a stepped waveform like this only, stepped waveform like this only. Okay, so automatically this lead to a, if you see that, if you analyze this waveform mathematically, this one having its own DC supply. Okay, some amount of DC voltage is there. Plus, it is also having a fundamental frequency component. Suppose I want to have a AC supply with a 50 hertz means, so that also will be there. So that will be called as a fundamental frequency. Okay, F1. If I am analyzing this particular waveform using Fourier transform, I may come out with a some more frequency, that is 2 times F1, 2 times F1 plus 3 times F1. So if you analyze that, it will keep on going. The only the magnitude of the such a frequency will be very less. So only the fundamental frequency may have a magnitude with a DC voltage, maximum DC voltage. Other frequency component, if you see that, that will be having a very light magnitude. So what will happen? What will be wrong? Definitely motor will run. There is no any doubt about that. But I need a supply. I need a supply which exactly sinusoidal one. Which need I need a exactly sinusoidal one supply. Okay. So instead of that, I am having a stepped output. Okay. So because of this, or otherwise, if I am going for a pulse width modulation technique like this means, so you know that. Okay. So small pulses, then pulse width will be increases, then pulse width will be increases further, then once again pulse will be decreases, then once again pulse will be decreases. So in the negative half cycle also the same thing. So I'm going to employ the pulse width modulation technique. So automatically during the negative half cycle also same like that. It start with the small pulses, it is pulses increases. So automatically pulses is keep on increases. Then once again it is start decreasing in the negative half cycle. So this will be controlled by the firing angle. Why? Because why we are especially interested in pulse width modulation technique is in order to have a continuous current. In order to have a continuous current, because every pulse, if you see that average of that, it will be coming like this. Average of that, it will be coming like this. So automatically, so if you're connecting the average line, okay, every pulse it is having its own average. If I'm connecting the average line, I will get a somewhat sinusoidal. So definitely it need further filter also. Okay, so these are all the advantages. Because of this advantages only we are going for the pulse width modulation technique or we are going for a stepped output. So in this case, in addition to the advantages, there are some consequences also is there. That consequences is called power quality issues. So because instead of a pure sinusoidal, I am supplying the motor, that is what is connected inside the drive. One component is motor. I am supplying the motor with this type of supply. Okay, see here it is going like a stepped. Here it's going like a pulses. Okay, so as a result of that, I am getting. So what will happen is a huge amount of frequency other than the fundamental frequency. Suppose I want to have a supply, sinusoidal supply, which is in a 50 hertz only means, which is in a 50 hertz only means, instead of that, there will be a other frequency component also will be present in the output voltage, which is a multiple, okay, integer multiple of the fundamental frequency. Say, for example, in the same waveform here, I will have 100 hertz, 150 hertz, 200 hertz, likewise the frequency will be. But whenever the frequency of the component is increasing, their magnitude is very, very less. Their magnitude is very, very less. So that also I have to take in care. So whenever we are going for a very, very precise design of electrical vehicle application, so without compromising on the efficiency part and as well as the life of the component that are used in the car, so definitely I have to go for a this type of mitigation technique. So obviously there is no need of any compulsory implementation in case of electrical vehicle because now only it is emerging. Okay, but if you want to go ahead with a concept of high efficiency, less noise. Suppose as we are going for that, we are going to have not only it is going to be a very very luxury concept. We are going to communication, lot of communication port, lot of net access also will be there. So it is not only simply no more. It is going to be simply as a vehicle. So a vehicle is having it should have all such a facilities. So in that case, so I have to go for a elimination of these type of harmonics. Okay, that is called utility interaction mitigation. So you know that sensors and observers, we are using a lot of sensors, especially if I want to have a closed loop operation. As all of you know that. So I already explained. We have already explained, no. So it is a wait, it's not. It is a closed loop operation. So definitely, what is the current at which motor is feeded? So what is the speed at which motor is running using a tacho generator? Okay, so I'm sensing. I'm sensing. So once the parameters available only using a control and firing circuit, I can able to decide whether I can proceed with the present firing angle, that is triggering angle, or I have to increase the triggering angle, I have to decrease the triggering angle. So the decision is made by the control based on the speed reference. So I already explained, suppose 1500 RPM I want to run the motor means so at a standstill it will be there. Initially at a standstill it will not rotate. So we will give the supply. Okay, so randomly we will select and give the supply. So because of the supply is given, motor will be start rotating. So that will give the information about the speed. So here I want to have 1500. So definitely it will be having a less than assume that 1000 RPM. So 500 RPM is the error here. I have to correct. In addition to that, I will get the information about current also. So why this current feedback also is means so there should not be it should not provided with a current which is exceed the specification value. So motor is designed okay with the some specifications only. So its current carrying capacity, okay, current withstanding capacity also will be there. So if you see any motor and the motor outside of that, you can see the nameplate details. So that nameplate details contains the information about how much voltage we have to supply, at what voltage it will be normally running, how much will be the maximum current, okay, how much will be the power output, how much will be the speed of the particular motor. These are all the information, okay, so will be provided by the manufacturer in the form of nameplate detail in the motor. So, okay. So this current why we are taking is at any point of time, I should not exceed the 120 percentage of the full load current. That means if a motor is in the nameplate detail, if I provide the motor with a 10 amps detail means, so in order to increase the speed or in order to additionally take the load, so if I have to change the firing angle by which current may be increasing. So there I have to very much cautious that. So it should not at any cost, it should not cross more than 12 amps. So what will happen is my inverter is capable of providing that. My infinite source which is connected. So it is assumed that EB. Okay, I'm tapping the energy from the EB, electricity board. So that also is capable of providing, but my motor is not capable of withstanding the automatically it may be taken to a damage, winding may be burned. So because all the conductors wounded in the particular motor is capable of carrying maximum of 12 amps only. If goes beyond the 12 amps, automatically, so we will face problems. So because of that only a lot of protection mechanisms also is there by means of a fuse. Okay, so either by miniature circuit breaker or by means of open fuse, so that will be protected. So this is the case. So that information we are getting it from the current feedback. Okay, so this is how it is in a closed loop operation. So until my Taka generator reads, okay, so 1500 RPM, my firing angle or the triggering angle will be keep on altered based on the feedback. Once it's reached, automatically there won't be any error. That is between there is no any difference between the speed reference and speed feedback. So automatically, yes, hello, any clarification? Yes, any clarification? Shall I proceed
Oh,
further?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can proceed, sir.
Okay, right. So this is how it is working. Okay. So now, as I told you earlier, okay, so we are going to have, so especially in case of a electric vehicle and hybrid electrical vehicle, whenever I'm employing a power propulsion unit is motor, that motor is also capable of operating as a generator during the braking operation. Okay, so any converter or any inverter that I'm saying, irrespective of the motor, so whether it is a DC motor and AC motor, I have to select a motor and as well as converter which is capable of operating both as a generator and also a power modulator is a having a reversible power flow option also. So that is means my motor should be capable of operating in the all the four quadrant operation. Say for example, when we need a forward motoring operation, so during the normal operation of any vehicle, electric vehicle or hybrid electrical vehicle, we need a forward motoring operation. Whatever may be the inverter supply or converter supply. Here, if I'm taking a DC as a DC means here it's a carbon brushes are there, so it is a DC. Okay, so it's very well it is possible for AC also. Four quadrant operation of AC also we will discuss later. So now, so in this case, my converter is providing the DC supply to the motor. Because of that, there is a back EMF is created. So that is armature EMF that mentioned. That is called back EMF. So what is the difference between the applied voltage and back EMF? That will going to facilitate the armature current. Okay. So because of that, a motoring operation will be happen, power propulsion will happen. That will be using a drive train. We will transfer it to the wheels of the vehicle. Suppose suddenly I want to brake the vehicle, I want to make it stop. Okay, so what will happen? Immediately, whatever maybe the pedal that associated with the braking we are pressing. So because of that, what will happen is here the voltage will be reduced. Voltage will be reduced. Whenever I'm applying, the first it will start cut the voltage to the motor. So suddenly it will become I'm withdrawing the supply to the motor. Because of that, what will happen? There is no any applied voltage, but still motor is running. So because of that, back EMF will be there. So there is a what is the current? Current is a result of voltage difference between the applied voltage and back EMF. So now, since this voltage is less, suppose if I am not applying braking, I am simply withdrawing the supply, or if I am applying braking, this will be become zero. So because of that, back EMF will be very high. So that will facilitate the current flow in the opposite direction of motoring. So that is why it comes in the second quadrant. Okay. So that will create, it is acting as a generator. So automatically, if you see that inverter arrangement here, earlier it was converter, now it is acting as an inverter. You can able to see the symbol here. So now this is how we will represent converter. Okay. Now the AC power is converted into DC. Now, if you see that this will be immediately acting as a inverter. Okay, inverter, how it is possible to inverter is, so if the firing angle between 0 to 90 degree, 0 to 90 degree, okay, power flow will be between here to there. Okay, from 90 to 180 degree firing angle, because maximum I can go for full off cycle only. So automatically, so two different way I can able to do. So one range is 0 to 90 degree. This is for converter operation. This is for the inverter operation. So I will change the firing angle between 90 to 180. Whatever may be the, because of the current is available, I can able to fed back to source. Here power will be coming like this, but whereas in this case power will be going like this. So automatically here I will, if I'm connecting another one converter, okay, which will convert to a DC, then I can able to have a positive and negative terminal. So that will be connected to the battery. So automatically battery will be set. Earlier energy is coming from the battery, okay, to this power modulator. Here it is a converter, then it is supplied. So because now suddenly I am withdrawn the voltage, I want to break the operation of the vehicle. So I want to make a brake. Okay, if I'm applying a brake, automatically the voltage applied to the motor will be withdrawn. Then because of that, but still the motor will be running because of the moment of inertia. It will want to be keep it in the continuous rotating condition only. So that will facilitate the reversible power flow. So that can be taken back. But as far as the existing internal combustion engine arrangement, we cannot get back. So there is no any provision for get back the fuel. Okay, so immediately I'm applying the brake means automatically that power. So keep on engine will be run even though you stop the fuel injection and all. So the crankshaft and everything will be rotating only. So automatically that will be having some breakthrough arrangement. It will try to forcibly stop that. Enormous amount of heat will be produced. So there is no any power saving, which is a very big advantage of using the particular one. So automatically. So likewise in the reverse motoring. So when we need a reverse motoring operation, so when we want to reverse the vehicle also we need. So automatically I will simply change the supply voltage terminal. Okay. Because of that back EMF will be also in the reverse direction. So that will facilitate the motor operation in the reverse direction. That will facilitate the operation of the motor in the reverse direction. So automatically power propulsion or direction also will be changing. I can able to make my particular vehicle in a reverse direction, because mainly the electrical vehicle does not employ the gear concept. It is a single gear concept only. Okay, there is a possibility of two different speed changes, two different speed only changes. So in that case, if I want to braking also, suddenly I will withdraw the applied voltage. So current will be flow in the opposite direction. So by that I can able to take the energy out. Take the energy out. So main important reason why we are going for four quadrant operation is during the braking, whether it's a forward motoring or reverse motoring, irrespective of that, during the braking operation, a huge amount of energy can be saved. So that is one study, okay, case study reveals that if a 100 kg vehicle now running at 100 kilometer per hour speed, 100 kilometer per hour speed, that much speed it is running. So suddenly it is running by electrical vehicle or hybrid vehicle. So suddenly we are applying a braking. I want to stop it. Okay. So in that case, what will happen is this will produce 0.16 kilowatt hour of energy. 0.16 kilowatt hour. That is 0.16 unit. 0.16 unit. 0.16 unit. So 0.16 unit is nothing but, okay, so it is nothing but 160 watts. 160 watts. I can able to run, I can able to burn 160 watts bulb. Suppose there is no any specifically 160 watts bulb available, 40 watts, 60 watts, okay, and then 100 watts is available. So I can able to connect 100 watts and 60 watt bulbs for 1 hour. 1 hour I can able to serve. That much of amount of energy is wasted in the external internal combustion engine, but we can able to suppose if you see the vehicle, okay, so in terms of tons, in terms of more kilo, definitely will be more kilogram. So maybe around 60-70 kilometers it is running means huge amount of energy will be there, so that energy can be fed back. So here instead of wasting, or we are not going to use it for bulb, we are going to save it in the battery. We are going to save it in the battery. So all my converter arrangement or converter circuit should capable of operating in both converter and inverter inversion mode. Conversion and inversion mode. Okay, so during the normal operation of the mode, the firing angle will be varying from 0 to 90 degree. During the inversion operation of the particular inverter, so 90 to 80 degrees. Same circuit, same circuit. Okay, so only firing angle is changed. I'm going to say it is a converter arrangement. When the converter is there, I'm firing angle is 0 to 90 degree means it will be acting as a conversion. Okay, so when the firing angle between 90 to 180 degree means it is called inversion mode. So this is how my 4 quadrant operation of the particular motor is working. Okay, so now we will see as far as DC, we will now as far as now as and now we will have a AC separately. Now we'll go get into the DC converters detail. So there is a different classification of the rectifiers or converters. So mainly to what it will do? It will give the AC to DC. So mainly it will give the AC to DC. Yes, AC to DC. So in this case, there are what are the classification is? I can have a single phase half wave control rectifier. That is what we have seen 2 classes before. Single phase AC supply is there. I am having a half wave. Okay, half wave control rectifier. So if I am having two different devices, okay, that is connected opposite, exactly opposite, automatically I can able to have half wave control. Semi converter, full converter. Suppose if I'm using 4, so likewise 3 phase semi converter, 3 phase full converter. So single phase is nothing but I am providing the converter arrangement by means of a single phase source. So here it is a, if we call it a single phase means I am having only phase and neutral. I am having only phase and neutral, 2 lines only. Suppose if I'm mentioning, okay, 3 phase. 3 phase means here I will have 3 different, like I am having a 3 phase. Okay, so 3 phase means I am having a 3 different line. So as I already mentioned, one is R line, R phase, Y phase, and B phase. So as far as the single phase is concerned, it will be like a single waveform only. It is having a, this is how it will be keep on varying. Okay. As far as the three phase is concerned, it is having a three different one. Suppose if I'm taking R phase as a reference, so I'm assuming R phase is a reference. So I'm having, okay, I'm having like this. I'm having R phase as a reference. Automatically, so with this reference, this will having a minus 120-degree lagging, minus 120-degree lagging, and this will have minus 240-degree lagging, minus 240-degree lagging. Or otherwise, I can say that it is plus 120 because totally 360-degree only. So plus 120-degree lagging. Okay, so plus 120. So if I want to draw the Y waveform, I have to start with the minus 120. So you know that this is 0, this is 90, and this is 180. So 90 here, here only it starts. My Y waveform will be starting. If you want to really want to have the drawing. Okay, so automatically if you see that, automatically it will go like this. So likewise, my B phase is minus 240. Minus 240 means here 180. 180 plus 90 is here 270. Around here only it is starting. Here only it is starting. Okay. If you want to have that, or otherwise I can have plus 120 already before that it's having. So here 0. Okay. So plus 120 means here it will be like this. It will be coming like this. So if you see that this is R waveform, this is Y, this is B phase. So what is the advantages is I already explained very second class. So advantage of having three phases, I can whatever the motor, it is having a continuous torque. So whereas single phase supply can only producing a pulsating torque. So whereas continuous torque, more amount of energy can be feed to the load. So these are all the advantages of having. So that is why in suppose if you want to have a very truck electric vehicle but very large electrical vehicle like a truck goods carrying vehicle, so it need a more enormous amount of power. So from the battery, even though I'm having a battery, if I'm using a single phase converters, so I cannot able to produce, okay, so very high amount of power. So I can go for a three phase converter truck. Suppose some of you may be marine engineering, okay, and also uh, naval architecture. So if you want to go for cruise ship, okay, cargo ship, so I want to have a electrical vehicle propulsion for my ship, cargo ship. Cruise ship means be very very luxury ship, more amount of luxury things will be there, swimming pool, this and that, lighting, hoteling load, heavy will be there. Apart from that, ship also will be very high, very very big. It has to carry the very large amount of electrical load. Apart from the propulsion, for those type of purposes, very large amount cargo ship, cruise ship like that, we can go for a three-phase full converter. Okay, so there also we can able to run. Okay, by means of a stored energy, we can able to run that. Okay, this is how we are able to classify. Okay, classification of rectifier is 5 type of classification. Okay, so single phase half wave control, single phase semi converter, single phase full converter, half wave semi full converter, three phase semi and three phase full converter. As far as the choppers is nothing but DC to variable DC, DC to variable DC. So I am having in a battery, I'm having a fixed DC voltage, but whereas a motor need a variable DC voltage, I have to vary the voltage to the motor DC voltage. So then automatically I have to go for a choppers only. So variable DC motor, variable DC supply. Okay, so in this case, I am having a 5 different classification. So that is one step up chopper. So I have to increase the voltage input more than the input voltage. I have to decrease the voltage. It is another one circuit is capable of doing both. I can go for step up, I can go for step down, depends upon the need. And another one operation is two quadrant. I can go for either forward motoring or forward braking. Another one motor is four quarter chopper. Okay. So based on the classification of chopper, those who are studying the introduction to electrical vehicle, very easily, if you really understood the subject, very easily you will say we will always prefer class E chopper for the electrical vehicle application, because this only is providing a four quarter operation. Suppose if I am only having first quadrant chopper, okay, or we are having only first quadrant operation, means there is no need, there is no meaning, because whenever I am braking, I cannot able to recover the energy that is wasted in the brake shoes. Okay, if I'm using a class E chopper only, using a four quadrant chopper, so whether in a forward motoring or reverse motoring operation, during the braking, I can able to. So if you see any electrical vehicle operating pattern, whether it's urban or rural or very, very city, metropolitan city, whatever it may be, all these patterns will have number of times it will be in ideal position. It will come to rest, then once again start. So very often we have to cross signal. Very often we have to in a very, very congested traffic will be there. So there the vehicle speed will be less. So where, and also it may be going to a very, very highways also. So it is a mixed pattern. If you see any traffic pattern of any electrical vehicle, so it is having a uniform, whether it is urban in India or abroad or whatever may be, some 90 to 80 percentage of uniformity is there. So likewise, rural means, so likewise highways means it is also having a uniformity in the pattern. So automatically from that we can able to understand that more frequently we are going for a braking, or we are slow down, or we have to decrease the acceleration very often then increasing. So it is not going to be maintained like somewhat in a railways. So once from one station to another station, the rails is become means automatically in the next signal only the railway will be train will be getting slow. Okay, they will apply braking. But as far as the vehicle concept, electrical vehicle concept, which is using a road transport, so definitely need to encounter so many times of braking, deceleration, braking, okay, and ideal operation. That is in the signal and all, it will be forced to stop for some time. So those times, if you want to immediately start the vehicle, I need a very high torque. So as I already told, you can able to very well, we can able to switch off the internal combustion engine. We can completely rely on my starting of the particular vehicle in a signal, okay, from stop to on by motors. So immediately signal on, you can using a motor, we can able to start the motor. Enormous amount of starting torque can be created. Once the vehicle start, automatically the internal combustion engine will also contribute in case of a hybrid electric vehicle configuration. So this is how we have to understand. So even though there is a five such a classification of the chopper. Okay, so mainly we are going to rely. So in the modern electrical vehicles, those who are using a DC motor as a power propulsion unit will be using only Class E choppers. Okay, so as I already told, Tesla model, all the Tesla 3 or whatever the other model, BMW i3 Rex. So all these type of model, they are using AC motor, especially US based, United States of America based electrical vehicle manufacturing. They are relying or they are believing that induction motor can perform well than DC motor. But whereas so Nissan Leaf, okay, so Japanese based and this type, okay, Eastern countries, they are all start manufacturing using DC motors. But as a result of comparison of both, we can able to say because of the advancement in the power electronics and its converter configurations, it is very well advisable to go ahead with the further production only using the AC motor, that induction motor, or some special purpose motors like switched reluctance motors. Okay, so this is how we can able to understand. So now we'll get into now. So we are going to see. Now we are going to see. Okay, converters or rectifiers. Okay, rectifiers or converters. Sorry. So before getting to that, we should know what is really a motor, because when we want to have a converter arrangement, so converter is capable of giving a electrical characteristics only. That means it is having voltage, it can produce a voltage, it can able to supply certain amount of current. So I want to model my motor or equivalent circuit. I want to convert my motor also equivalent electrical circuit. So if I'm converting my motor into equivalent electrical circuit, I can able to say my motor, my DC motor is having armature resistance. So that very well I can able to mention here. So whenever I'm applying a voltage to that, whenever it start rotating, it is capable of producing back EMF. So back EMF at the instant t, back EMF equal to 0 at the instant t is equal to 0. So that means at initially there is no any back EMF will be available. But whenever I'm built up, whenever I'm applying the voltage, so because of that, a magnetic field will be set up and armature will be carrying a current. So whenever armature is carrying a current and that is placed in the magnetic field, it will experience the forces. That is a principle of operation of any DC motor. So back EMF will be slowly start built up. So at the steady state, at the steady states. So these are all here transition states. So at the initial t is equal to 0, I am giving the supply. At that time, EB will not be there. So enormous amount of current will be taken. In order to prevent that only, you are all studied that starters are there. Starters. Okay, starters to prevent the enormous amount of starting current. So automatically, once it start running, so because of the rotation, so because EB is directly proportional to the speed of the machine, rotation of the machine. So automatically back EMF will be built up. That back EMF will be opposed the cause. So automatically as a result of that, what is the difference between EB and V divided by RA? So what is the difference between V minus EB back EMF divided by RA only is going to be equal to IA, my armature current. My armature current. So this is what my equation. Okay. So based on that, I am applying at this standstill, at this steady state, not standstill, at this steady state condition, I am simply applying the Kirchhoff's voltage law of the equation. What is Kirchhoff's law? Voltage law states that algebraic sum of the voltage in any closed loop circuit is equal to 0. Algebraic sum of voltage in a closed loop circuit is equal to 0. Closed loop is 0. So automatically here I am applying a voltage. That voltage will be okay. That voltage will be equal to. So automatically if you see V is equal to what is there, IA RA plus EV. The same thing. This equation, if I am rewriting this, I will get the equation like this one. Okay. So here IA RA and V is equal to EB plus IA. This is my equation. So here what is the voltage rise? Applied voltage is the voltage rise. As a result of that, what is happening? Back EMF plus IARA is there. So this is so automatically, if you see that this will be equal. Back EMF, how much is the armature drop equal to the applied voltage? So this is what I am just converting my existing DC motor into a equivalent circuit. From that, I will get one equation. From this, I am getting one equation. Any clarification up to this? Any clarification? Are you able to understand the concept of DC motor? Hello, especially food processing technology students.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because it is an open elective. Okay. I think food processing, who is attending? Food processing technology. Maybe naval, mechanical, even mining students.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are able to
Understand.
understand. Only thing I think maybe somewhat difficult for food processing
Sir,
technology.
is
Yes.
there any some notes regarding this topic?
Yes, yes, I will send it.
additional notes.
Yeah, additional notes. I think last week I sent one notes through WhatsApp. Have you all received?
Yes,
I
sir.
think
Yes, sir. We received.
yes, that is exclusively for the vehicle mechanism and all. So for the second unit, I will send it. Okay,
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
okay, okay, okay. We'll proceed. So next, we are going to see what is a torque. What is a torque? How much the torque is produced in any DC motor is it's directly proportional to the current, armature current. So I can able to very well say that torque is equal to K into pi Ia. How much is the flux? How much is the armature current that is produced? So if I am substituting this particular equation 2, this is equation 2. Back EMF is how much is the back EMF is produced is directly proportional to the speed and the flux. Okay, so I'm making it as K pi N. K pi N. I am substituting in the back EMF equation of the equation 1. So automatically what will happen? V is equal to K pi N. So here I am having IARA. IARA. For that I am substituting the value T by, so because IA is T by K pi into RA. So now I am able to get one equation in which applied voltage, it is made as a two different component. Okay, so one is that is spent for the related to the speed and another one related to the torque, another one related to torque. But whereas this will be always constant, armature resistance of the circuit, armature resistance of the motor will be always constant. Okay, so only speed and torque and flux will be varying. Okay, so in this case, I can able to calculate what is the speed. If I see that what is speed, yeah, I'm keeping this term. I'm bringing this V minus T by K by RA divided by K by. Okay, so here I can able to put it here V by K by also minus RA. So since I am multiplying that K by square into T. So here I am getting an important equation. Okay, important equation and relating the torque and speed. This is speed and this is torque. This is torque. So from the equivalent circuit of a DC motor, I'm able to get two equation. One equation using a KVL for the particular circuit, V is equal to EB plus IRA. That is nothing but applied voltage equal to back EMF plus armature drop, IRA. Okay, and another one, back EMF is nothing but it is directly proportional to the speed and as well as flux. K is a constant. Okay, back EMF is equal to K by N. So this information, okay, I am substituting in the equation 1 and I am getting that torque is equal to K by A. Okay, so in that case, my voltage is become like a K by N plus T by K pi into RA. In this expression, my armature resistance alone is constant, remaining and all able to change. So I want to have, because as a motor, so even though I am getting an equivalent electrical circuit, I want to have a relation between speed and torque because that is only deciding the mechanical characteristics. They are all mechanical parameters. If I want to establish the relation between these two mechanical parameters, I am substituting these values and find out the value of the speed. That is V by K pi minus RA divided by K pi square. Here it is a flux, V is applied voltage, RA is the armature resistance. These two K are constant. Okay. So this is a torque. So suppose if I want to have a speed, okay, I can able to apply certain voltages. I can able to decide how much torque it will produce. Okay. How much torque it will produce. Okay. So say for example, okay, say for example, so I want to have 1500 RPM. I am applying certain voltages. RA cannot be changed. Okay, how much torque it will produce, I can very well able to get to know. So these are all the relations. So this is very, very important equations. Okay, you should be able to remember. So this concept I am going to employ the, I want to have it. This is what we are going to have. So I want to have this means I want to have as control over the speed means. So there is another one relation also is very well is there. If I want to control over the speed, okay, n is directly proportional to the voltage, applied voltage. If I'm varying the applied voltage, there is also possibility of changing the speed. So n is inversely proportional to the flux pi. Okay, so this is how we can able to understand. So for that, I am going to depend on a one converter. Okay, so the converter. This is the first case. I am going to take a single phase full converter. Okay, single phase full converter in which I am having a single phase AC is there. Here it is a phase. Here it is a neutral. Okay, I am having a four thyristor switches. Here T1 is thyristor. T1, T1, T2, T1, T2, T4, T3. Okay, so automatically what will happen? So I am going to apply the voltage like this. This is my T. This is my voltage. This is my VM. 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 This is pi by 2. And this is my pi. And this is my 2 pi. So I am taking only the references of a complete waveform, full cycle, one positive cycle or negative cycle. So my voltage will be peak, okay, and inversely peak at two different instant. That is at a minus Vm. So exactly at pi by 2, okay, and 2 pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, only it will be going to be maximum. Okay, that is nothing but at 90 degree and as well as 270 degree. At 270 degree only it is going to be having a maximum. So what will happen? So initially I am only triggering the pulses T1 and T2. So automatically what will happen is here T4 and T3 are reverse bias. So when the reverse bias, that is if it's not triggering and reverse bias, automatically what will happen? These two will be open circuit. So automatically my applied voltage will be going like this and go and come and through T2 it will reach. So my circuit is closed. Okay. So during this is happening during the positive half cycle. So say for example, I am giving a firing angle. I am giving a firing angle. Okay. Say for example, 30 degree means my output voltage that is applied to the motor will be like this. Okay. Exactly 30 degree it starts. 180 degree it will stop because here it's a natural computation. So automatically the applied voltage across the thyristor also will become zero. So it will stop conducting. So next during the negative half cycle also pi plus 30 degree. Pi plus 30 means 180 plus. So I'm starting at 210 degree. 210 degree means I will get a voltage like this. Here it will be. So if you see the average voltage of the earlier one, it will be having a value. Say for example, if average voltage is 230 voltage. So in this case, my average voltage of this waveform will be 200 voltage only because I'm reduced the voltage. How I am reduced the voltage? Simply by means of a firing angle. If I'm increasing the firing angle, what will happen? If I'm increasing the firing angle, what will happen? My voltage will be like this only. Say for example, it will go like this. It will be go like this. So if I'm taking the average, voltage, it will be coming around 100 voltage only. So this is how, by controlling the firing angle of the thyristor, even though AC is a fixed voltage, okay, at fixed alternating current voltage, I can able to, get, okay, so whatever the voltage here in a ulta direction. So in case of a DC, what will happen? 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 So earlier it is go like this. So now I am just switch off during the negative half cycle. I am just making this T1 and T2 off. T1 and T2 off. That is as a reverse bias. Whenever the negative half cycle is applied, so naturally T1 and T2 will not conduct because these two will become reverse bias, whereas T4 and T3 will be in the forward bias. During the forward bias operation, if I am trigger this thyristors, what will happen is my supply will be go, okay, and this will go, and automatically, sir, 1 minute. My supply. So here during the negative half cycle, this will become more positive. Then this will. So during positive half cycle, that will become more positive. So automatically what will happen? So here this direction only current will be glowing. So it will go, go, and it will go, and so this direction, it will go in this direction and return. So from positive, it will starts, it is going, it is go through T3, then load. So earlier also, if you see that current is going like this, So automatically what will happen during the negative of cycle also, since I am mentioning, I am changing, okay, I will have a voltage like this, As a result of that, my current will be going like this only. Okay, because whenever voltage is rise, current will be goes low, and once again it will go. So if you see the current direction, it is also uniform direction. It is not going to be zero. And if you see the resultant output voltage, that also will have a DC voltage. So if I am connected any capacitor across this, automatically, very well you know that, say from the earlier one, my voltage will be itself like this. So as a result of that, my DC current will be always like this. So a complete DC supply I can able to realize in the output. How can I control the voltage? Simply by means of controlling the firing angle, I can take average voltage. I can able to minimize the average voltage or enhance the average voltage. This is how the circuit is working. Okay, we will see the detailed operation of switching operations next class. Okay, any clarification you can ask. Any clarification? No clarification?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay.
Once we go through, I think we will get.
Yeah, definitely it needs studied because you are completely studying Other general concept very easily understand, electrical vehicle configuration, IC engine, other things. But when you're going for any circuitry configuration like converter and all, you need some study, extensive study of that. So once you go through that, you will definitely understand. Okay. Today itself, I'll send
Okay,
the
sir.
details.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay.